Good morning, internet strangers. Today's topic, Hades 2. So Hades 2 finally came out in the technical test, I believe, and we got a little bit of gameplay, we got a couple of screenshots, and Kotaku felt like they had to give their opinion on the attractiveness on the characters. Now, I'm sure all of you know that Stellar Blade was super controversial because of how attractive Eve was, so Kotaku wrote an article, I believe titled Hades 2, the kind of hot we need. As always, links in the description. And while you're down there looking for that link, might as well hit that subscribe button because we're trying to hit 300 subs before the end of the month. And with that being said, let's begin. Hades Supergiant Award winning 2020 roguelike was renowned for its excellent combat and beautiful art style, intrinsic music, and very hot characters. You'd expect a game about Greek gods who were purposely attractive so that the normies of ancient Greece had something to aspire towards. To include a ton of hot characters, but Hades manages to exceed expectations, and from what we've seen of the Hades 2 technical test and Supergiant's latest gameplay stream, it looks like the sequel will be even hotter. Take that, cancel pics. Now, I have zero issues with having attractive characters in video games. I think it's a plus, and I think you can have attractive characters in most shapes and sizes, not all shapes and sizes. So let's continue. Despite what certain corners of the internet might believe, there isn't a lack of attractive people in modern video games. Baldur's Gate 3 just got its set a Game of the Year award record, and that game was full of hotties. But when compared to something like Stellar Blade Eve, the standard bearer for the latest gamer culture war, the manner in which Hades depicts his character and their attractiveness is fundamentally different. Yeah, in this picture, which I'm gonna blur out because I don't know if YouTube's gonna be chill about it, she's naked. Straight up, she's just naked in the picture. Eve has clothes on. I'd say that's the biggest difference, is that Eve is clothed. But I guess that they don't like that. I guess they want her to be naked too. Hades' character sexiness is woven into their personality as much as part of them as their wants, needs and emotions, and their bodies. However, scantily clad or salacious are not in motion. They cannot be manipulated or posed or peered at from different angles. Instead, it's like you're looking at a statue or painting of these gods and the eternal infinite sexiness. You can't turn them around because they're 2D art. I can promise you, if Supergiant makes a statue, if they make like a collector's edition where you can have an Aphrodite figurine, it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. And I can promise you, with the way they drew Aphrodite, this is more than enough information for Rule 34. So let's not act like Supergiant is like a bastion of holiness and the authority on what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. They put an attractive woman there, just like Stellar Blade. Difference is, Stellar Blade Eve has clothes. There is a desire here, sure, but there is also power and reclamation. There is longing because you only get a tiny little taste of their beauty. The concept of look but don't touch is incredibly sexy. It's part of why strip clubs, many of which have strict rules on the touching the performers, are so lucrative. Again, Eve is a character in game. From what I know, there are no current statues available of Eve to be bought, so you're still going to be doing the look, don't touch, because again, she's in a game, no different from Aphrodite. Conversely, as Izzy van der Velde writes for Inverse, a character like Stellar Blade Eve, like Lara Croft before her, is hot, but she doesn't seem to be aware of it. She's sexy but doesn't know it. She's athletic and acrobatic but entirely controllable. Yes, because she's literally made for war. Like, this is kind of the same thing as Nier Automata. 2B is literally an android built for war and to take orders. Eve is kind of in the same boat. So regardless of how athletic, acrobatic, and sexy she is a weapon of war. She was bred to fight. And I'm guessing at some point in the game, she's gonna be like, I'm more than just a machine. I'm a person. I'm Eve. And then she's gonna have more of her free will. And then by the end of the game, she's gonna be her own full character. But no, let's not wait for the game to come out. Let's cast judgment right now. She is a blank slate, a posable doll, her bountiful chest heaving during idle animations, unlike Bayonetta, whose sexiness is folded into her personality and fighting style. Eve is just blandly attractive Eve is just the object of desire, not the owner of it. To be fair, I wouldn't say that she is the owner of her own desires because she's a machine. It's almost like it's a part of the story for her to be a blank slate. It's almost like it was intentional to give Eve the chance to have a character arc, to realize that she's more than just a weapon, to become a full person. Crazy, man. I never would have thought of that, that's for sure. In Hades 2, everyone is horny for each other, and thus it feels far less leery and creepy for us players to be horny for them too. I've never felt any type of weird. I've never felt weird about finding a fictional character hot. I don't feel creepy about it. You know why? It's because they're not real. These are sexual people, gods who are infamous for their rampant and often unchecked desires. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, would be naked and have pink hair down to her crack, and the weary smile she wears in her character photo implies that she knows you're hoping the only perfectly placed tendril over her nip would shift ever so slightly. This would grant me a lot more discomfort than seeing a Stellar Blade character because she's actually naked and she's behind somebody. So if I'm spending a lot of time staring, like I'm trying to forget everything around this character in the hopes of, you know, enjoying myself. But while Aphrodite embodies a more traditional idea of sexiness, which by the way is subjective, look at how many of us are thirsting for over Walton Goggins, Noses Ghoul in Fallout TV series. I think that's just a fantasy thing. I think most people, if they had the opportunity to go on a date with Walton Goggins, the noseless ghoul in Fallout TV series, most people would run in terror. I think most people would go, no, that's disgusting. Hades 2 includes all different kinds of hot, like Baldur's Gate 3. There's a variety of sexiness on display here, from the burly beardness of Hephaestus, whose presence here suggests a more inclusive approach of body types than seen in the first game, to the muscle mummies of Hecates and Nemesis. There is a smorgasbord of sexiness on display, not a singular, decidedly straight male-oriented take on attractiveness. Well, if you're making a game for a male audience and you know who your target audience is, you're definitely going to want to cater to that audience instead of casting a super wide net in the hopes of increasing your audience members, when you can just cater to your audience, have them do the legwork for you, because we've been talking about Stellar Blade non-stop for the past month. Most people didn't even know what the game was until all the controversy happened. So this is the biggest brain move by, I think it's Arrowhead Studios. They made something for their core audience. Their audience spoke about it non-stop, and now it's probably one of the most pre-ordered games in the world for the month of April. Hades 2 offers us an extensive collection of finery, a lengthy CVS receipt of thirst traps, horny characters, models for horny characters who have ownership of their beautiful bodies. It is exactly the kind of hot that we need right now, and I can't wait to see more. The Hades 2 technical test is currently accepting signups on Steam, and the early access release will come soon after. Stay hydrated, kids. It's gonna be hot in here. I find it so funny how they keep judging Eve's character and how she is and what she's all about. The game isn't out yet. No one has beaten the story. No one knows what Eve's character arc is gonna be. And yet Kotaku can come here and be like, look at these characters, how they assert themselves and how they're all about themselves. Not like this character that we actually know nothing about. We're just gonna assume that she's a blank slate for the entirety run of the game. Thou, if that's not journalism, I don't know what is. That's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you agree that Hades 2 is where sexiness should be? Are you upset about Stellar Blade? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. I am trying to hit 300 subs before the end of the month. Not a lot of time left, but I believe in you guys. And if you don't want to help, well, remember, at the end of the day, I'm just some guy on the internet, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. If you want to see more of my face, be sure to click on the videos you see on screen right now.